Hello and welcome to this video where we're going to work on multiplying binomials that have radicals with them. So the process twofold. One, we're going to FOIL. So we're going to use those same foiling skills that we used earlier with just normal binomials, but we're going to have to do a lot more simplifying at the end with radicals. And so we might have to simplify the stuff that's within the radical, like the radical expression itself, or we might have to be able to think about what like terms are with these binomials with radicals. So what I have are just a few quick examples I want to go through that kind of highlight this process. So let's start with this one right here. We're looking at 3 times the square root of 2 times 2 minus the square root of 5. So following the process, we're going to do FOIL. So we're going to have our first terms being multiplied together, 6. And then we're going to have our outside terms, so 3 plus negative root 5 is going to be negative 3 square root 5. We'll do our inside terms, which is going to be plus 2 square root 2. And finally, minus the last terms, root 2, root 5, which is negative root 10. Okay, so now here we just have to take a look at what we have and ask ourselves, is there anything we can simplify? And essentially the answer here is no, there's not. All right, we have a solid number. We have a root 5, a root 2, and a root 10, and these just do not combine. So our final answer is simply just what we have already. 6 minus 3 root 5 plus 2 square root 2 minus the square root of 10. Box that, walk away. Okay, so now let's take a look at the next example. Here we have 4 minus the square root of 6 times the quantity 4 minus the square root of 10. Here the simplifying will be a little more complicated. But again, we'll do our FOIL process. We'll have first, which is 16. Then we'll do our outside, and that's going to be minus 4 square root 10. Then we'll do our inside, which is going to be minus 4 square root 6. And then finally, we have here the last terms, which is going to be plus the square root of 60. So again, the first 3 terms are not going to simplify any further. We have a number, root 10, root 6. None of those are like terms. But what can happen here is our square root of 60 can be reduced. This is going to become 4 times 15. Take out the 4, and now we'll have 2 root 15. And then we just put it together with everything else, so negative 4 square root 6, and then negative 4 square root 10, and 16. Let's bring those down from the previous line of work, and there we go. Okay, so you might, when you start multiplying these things together, you might build a number under the radical in which you have to then simplify. All right, so square root of 60 became 2 root 15. All right, finally, let's look at something like this. So here we have 4 plus the square root of 6, 4 minus the square root of 6. So follow our process of FOIL. So first, get 16. Outside, we'll have negative 4 square root 6. We go inside, that's going to give us negative 4 square root 6. And then we go to the last terms. We're going to get, now we've got to be careful here, root 6 times root 6 is negative 6. All right, so root 6 times root 6 is 6. Then we have the positive and the negative, making it negative 6. Here we have all kinds of like terms that actually do match up. And so we have 16 and negative 6, which will combine to get us 10. Oops, that's not what I meant to write. 10. And then also, wait, one of these should be plus. That one should be plus, or inside, yeah. Okay, plus 4 root 6. All right, so we have 10, and then if we take a look at this, we have negative 4 root 6, and we have positive 4 root 6. Those are just going to cancel each other out and leave us with no root 6s, and so our answer here is actually just 10. And that's it. So, like I said, you're going to do the FOILing process, first, outside, inside, last, and then you're going to simplify. Sometimes you might have really long expressions, like I did in the first one where we have 4 separate terms. Other times, things might start canceling each other out, and you're left with just one term, like 10 in the final example. So, good luck with your homework or practice, and let me know if you have any questions.